There are a few ways to create a parabola when sketching in SOLIDWORKS. A quick and easy way to do this is to use the Parabola Sketch tool. Here I have a new part. I'll begin a new sketch on the front plane. Next, I'll go to Tools, Sketch Entities, Parabola, or I can launch the command from the ellipse drop-down on the Sketch toolbar. Notice my cursor provides feedback, showing me that I'm creating a parabola. First, I'll click to locate the focus of the parabola. Next, SOLIDWORKS require I draw a line to help define the size of the parabola. The longer you make this line, the wider your parabola will be. I'll keep it pretty short for a tighter parabola. An outline of the parabola appears in the graphics area. To finish up, I'll click to begin sketching the parabola, and I can drag along the outline to extend it. When I click again, you can see the parabola has been placed in the graphics area. I can modify the parabola here by clicking and dragging the vertex or the focus, as well as either of the endpoints. Dragging the vertex away from the curve will flatten the parabola, whereas dragging the vertex toward the focus will make a narrower, sharper curve. Dragging one of the endpoints will change the length of that particular side, without modifying the curve of the parabola. You can also click and drag the parabola away from its endpoints to change the length of both sides at once. You can click the parabola in the graphics area and use the spin boxes in the Property Manager to adjust the curve. There's a preview next to each spin box showing which aspect of the parabola the spin box controls. Now, if you prefer to define the parabola using an equation, or if you wish to create an entirely different shaped curve, SOLIDWORKS provides a tool for creating equation-driven curves. Here, I have another blank part. I'll begin a new sketch on the front plane. In Edit Sketch mode, I'll go to Tools, Sketch Entities, Equation-Driven Curve. This brings up the Equation-Driven Curve Property Manager. In the first field, SOLIDWORKS asks me to enter my equation in terms of x. To answer this particular question, I'd like to create a parabolic curve. So for the equation, I'll enter x squared, the mathematical equation for a simple parabola. The syntax used for the equations here is very similar to that used in Microsoft Excel. If your syntax is incorrect, the text will appear in red here, letting you know something's wrong. If the text appears in black, your equation is entered correctly. Next, in the Parameters section, SOLIDWORKS asks me to specify a discrete range of values that I'd like to sketch this curve over. I'll enter -5 for the minimum and +5 for the maximum. The lock icons here determine whether or not you can click and drag the endpoints of the curve to adjust it once it's created. I'll leave them both unlocked to provide some flexibility with this curve sketch later on. Next, I can use the spin boxes in the Transform section to shift my curve in the graphics area. I'll translate it 5 inches in the positive x direction and rotate it 20 degrees. I'll click the green check and the curve is added to the sketch. Notice it appears entirely in black, except for the endpoints, indicating that it's fully defined. Because we had the lock icons disabled, the endpoints appear in blue, and you can click and drag them to adjust the curve. If you need to edit the equation used to define the curve, simply double-click the curve, and the Property Manager reappears.